finally here, it turned up. So if you watched the last video about the compressor, you'll notice that the wrong one turned up. I ordered it wrong, or the information that was on the website was wrong, but anyway, this one's turned up. Same thing I'm going to do is check it, compare it to the other one before I install it. There's my dog having a drink now, sorry guys. Back in. Okay, that's pretty good. A box within a box. And it's original, that's the part number, Denso 2.8 turbo diesel, 94 MJ. Make sure you don't get a V6 or a later one, even though it says an MJ. Sweet. Oh, nice and gentle. Let's show you. Oh, look at that. There we go. Pull these up, baby. Yeah. It's child-proof, I can't get it out. Let's go. Okay. Extremely well packed. So. Looks like it. I'll go down the shed now and check it all. Okay guys, so I've just had a look at both the old one and the new one, and they're both identical on the back except for the tags. So if anyone's interested, this is the original from 94 with the Pajero NJ 2.8 turbo diesel. This is the new one, and this is OEM as well. So yeah, it was about, say, $900 delivered, not bloody cheap. But anyway, so I've just measured the size. I measured from here to the pulley wheel. It's the same. Bolt from here, measured the same, and measured these bolts here, and they're all the same. So that's on the back if you want, and it's got a manifold on top. Manifold's still there, so I'll flip it over and show you. Okay, so turn them around, and they're both identical as well. So this one here, the sticker did say Denso, but you check, like it's got 15k, 2.2 down here, 15 here. This one here's 14.1, 15A, 15. So they're a bit different, but it looks identical, and plus I'm going off what the second time around what is recommended on their website. So they were a bit baffled as why it was confused or why it was wrong, but anyway, so the wiring's the same, so it's in much better condition. Got a cover here for where the hoses, I've got a bolt back on, so it's covered up. Got a new cap that I can put back on. I'm actually going to spray this red, so when you do undo it and you're putting gas in, it drops, you can find it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, so I'll go ahead and fit it. Just going to recap what you've got to do, or what I've done to get the AC out. If you haven't watched the removal video, so you can see I've got the wheel up because you need to come in from the side, the wheel arch. Tools I've got on the ground, tools and sockets. Intakes off the intercooler. Undid that, I've got wiring to go back up, so you can see there's a fair bit. Batteries out over the table there. So now I've got to jam it back up underneath and go from there. Just a quick tip too, if you ever need to replace, this is the clutch mechanism and housing, undo this bolt here and take this section off, and then inside there's a circlip. In the other video you'll see that if you're just going to do a seal, that's what you do. Alright, to make it easier, I'm actually going to remove this cover here, this dust cover, protective cover, because I don't know how good I'm going to be able to get to it, because there's bugger all room between where you need to, so I'll take that off now before I go any further. So here's an ongoing challenge, guys. I've got a pulley to put on, but there's a bolt attached to the tensioner. So there's the nut for the tensioner, you can see. On the end of the tensioner is a nut basically welded to it. So I've got to get this pulley into that nut and lock it on, tighten it. But how do you get two hands down there and hold two different things? So I don't know, I have to rig up something, cable tie it or wire it. Okay, so I worked out two ways to get this little pulley back on, and I've probably done it the stupid hard way of trying to line up the bracket at the back. Use my thumb and finger at the back, clamp, and use my thumb with grease and oil and shit and tighten that nut. So I've just got it on its holding, so now I'm going to have to get the tools and socket onto it hopefully, and adjust it and tighten it up. I'm thinking this is the term where people get that expression, people are going to lose their shit. So when you're working with something like this, and which I did, there was a spacer, and so this sort of thing happens. It's on the floor while you're up on the stool, halfway down the engine bay. That's where you lose your shit, which I nearly did 3 or 4 times. Excellent, that pulley's on now. So, and you can see, oh, you might not be able to see this, everything's in the way. This is the adjuster here, this bolt. The whole pulley. Oh, I've done it up too tight. It moves anyway, there's a adjuster there. Alright, we'll try again. So that moves up and down for your belt, and you get into position, and then this nut here, you can tighten it down, and then tighten this one at the front up as well, and that'll stay in place. Alright, still dicking around, getting there though. I've just put a bit of wire through the where the bolt goes as a handle. So when I push it up and sort of jam it up in underneath there, then I can come from the top and try and lift and wriggle with this, because I'm doing it by myself. So that's the theory anyway, see how I go. Okay, so that's the gap I've got to go up in through. If the diameter of the pulley on the compressor had been like 5mm smaller, it would have been really good, because as you can see here, I've had to push these lines out of the way, which isn't the best, but that's what I've had to do, push them out of the way to get it up in through there. It hits every bloody thing you can imagine. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I'm going to try and push it up through there and see if I can get to sit up over here somewhere. Okay guys, I hope someone really get something out of these videos, because not just me but other guys that do it, there's a hell of a lot to go into it. So these are all the tips and tricks. You can see I've just got it through there. So yeah, give it a good thumbs up and subscribe if you like this content, and yeah, greatly appreciate you guys. I'll be back in a minute. Another little tip, it's taken me a bit of time to dig around, but it had one rubber on either side but nothing in behind the pipe, so if it's going to smooth a bit, it's going to eventually rub through. Being lucky there's nothing for it, well it could be, but not that I can see. So just yeah, take a bit of time, put a bit of rubber in behind there, try and improve things as you go along. Hopefully you can see up in there, that's where I've got it by hand. Got my red wire as a handle. I'm going to go up on top now and see if I can sort of lift it up into position, fighting 1 million goddamn things. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to come up on film, but this is the sort of drama you're dealing with, especially by yourself. And try and line it up and get at least one bolt in, or two, by the end of the day. So I got, that's the top, I'll get that one in. Find my bolts. There's one there, and I've got the line is in the way for the gas. Almost won't run us up. Alright, here goes. See if I can grab my handle. A bit of help. Oh yeah, that works pretty good actually. Yeah, that works really good. So, pull it over. I just got to get under it. I'm holding it with two hands. And then how do you tighten it up? Okay, I have to use my handle to help again. So I lift it up with the handle. Now I've got to come underneath the power steering pump and other bits and pieces of crap in the way. Okay, I'm going to lift it up. And you also try not to cut your hand on the radiator core or damage it. Okay, so lifting it up, but because the power steering pump is in the way, it's not coming up central. Oh, there we go, it's come across. It's just bumped onto it. There we go. So I've got the very top back bolt in. How in the hell I did, I don't know, I think it started, and now I don't have my, what is it, 10 mil, what have I got up here, 14, and now I let go of the handle to get down, it's probably going to lose it. It's just hanging on by half a thread. Take a bolt, measure what I need, I'll be back. Okay, so it's 12 mil, now I've got 1,000 different shaped 12 mil rings, one I've welded up and snapped earlier, taking it out, but I'm going to use the ratchet here, ratchet ring spanner, and I need it to lefty loosey righty tighty. So if I can go down, bump it on. Okay. Now. It's a little bit cross-threaded and it's starting to fall off again. Bloody hell. If I can get a couple of nice threads started, 1 or 2, probably 2 to 4, then I can get the second bolt on. I'm going to have to try and get a second bolt in, it's a little bit cockeyed. Alright, where can I get in? Alright, let's go at the door. Right. What's blocking that? What's blocking that? Wires. Oh God. See, the battery plate, battery bracket would be good to come out, but it's just, you're pulling half the friggin' car apart. I'm going to go underneath and see what I can get from the side. If I can. And then when you're at the side under the wheel arch, you've got to then push over and find the hole. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Pain in the ass, but we'll get there. All right, I'll bring you down underneath briefly, if I can, and we'll go from there. Alright, so put my bolt down. That's where I've got to go in. Oh, I've got the wire in there, that's why I've got my handle stuck in the bloody hole. There was another wire too, but anyway, I'm down here now. I might try and get a bottom bolt in. So bear with me, guys. Okay guys, so this is gold information. This is the bottom bolt. I've just got it in by hand. I've put a socket on the end, and now through this small gap is where I'm going to put an extension. So you can see that's the gap you've got. I've got to put an extension on there, and I can tighten that very bottom left bolt. That's the plan. So today's the next day, following day. As you can see, I've got this cover off. It makes it a lot easier to gain access. So I've put my hand in through here to do up that bolt in there, and more importantly there's one down in there, you can see. So I've got my hand in through there to do them up hand tight, and now I'm going to get the sockets onto them and do them up. So I've been able to get all these bolts pretty much with an extension and a pivot. Just the bottom one there, the bottom right, I've tightened it a little bit, but I'm going to have to go underneath to get the rest of it, see how I go from there. Okay, to nip that last bolt up nice and solid, I got on the trolley and I went in feet first, and then I could get two hands and open ender ring spanner onto it and snug it up. So now I'm going to put the lines back on. I'll take those plugs out and I'll put these two lines back on. So I've got the lines back onto the compressor, the Freon lines, and now I'm going to go up and going to hook up the wiring again. Find that wiring, there's two wires, hook them back up, throw the battery in, and then the belt for the pulley back on. That should be it, besides the intercooler. Another really good little tip, painful tip, getting for free here. So this is the fan going back on the viscous fan. Everything else is attached. So I've got to get the nuts back on the back of the pump. The water. So I've got the viscous fan just slowly in. I've got my hand down just in here, enough to get a little bit of a turn and motion to get it started, and that's what you've got to do. So I don't want to bump it, but then you've got to just get it started with your fingers. If you've got a small enough hand, it's going to be a lot better, and then get a socket, the socket a ring spanner or a ratchet on the end of it. That's what you do. And I'm standing on tyre to get me up a bit, because you've got to be at the right height for whatever height you need to be. Alright, I'll continue.